The home screen is a little bit different this time around because they've added a couple UI elements, and what I mean is if you tap the top bar anywhere, not even just the little glow light logo, it will turn on and off the glow light. So whether you click the time over there or the battery icon, it will just toggle the glow light on and off. If you scroll down from the top, you get your illumination settings. We'll go over this in a little bit. Home button is non-existent. You swipe up from the bottom and that will start your home screen. So for example, if I go into menus and then swipe up, it goes to the home screen. Up here are your books, you have search, you have the glow light icon again. I don't really know why they doubled up on that, I'm not too sure. And then you have the menu, which has some information there. Club shop, web browser settings. We'll just briefly look over settings. There's a lot of things here. Numbers lock is really nice. You can actually set a numeric password on your Tolino, which is really nice. Language, they don't have a whole lot of languages, but they do have, 8 of them, so that's not bad. Tolino is a fairly international company, so they, offer a wide array of languages, not nearly as much as Onyx or Pocketbook, but still a lot. You have 2 pages of advanced settings. You can pause the video at any point in time if you want to read those, and you have things like time, another illumination setting, so there's actually 3 ways to get into illuminations, and then my account and Wi-Fi, and then some stuff at the bottom of your bookstore that you created when you signed up for it. Reading is very nice. You can swipe to turn pages, tap to turn pages. If you tap in the middle, you get some settings up top. You get rotate because it does not have a gyroscope. You get all the table of contents, which does work even in side-loaded content. You have notes, so you can edit your notes. All you have to do is add more notes, obviously. Bookmarks on the top right corner. Text augmentation is very nice because you can slide everything with a slider bar. You can do line spacing, alignment, margins, and you can apply everything, cancel everything, or use publisher's standards. Publisher standards changes it to the way that the publisher has intended it to look. Again, you have another illumination key here, and the illumination key is always available up top if you swipe down as well. And you do have search in book for terms, basically anything it will find. If you tap in the center again, you get page turn physical buttons at the bottom, and you get a slider bar that jumps to a page that you wish to go to. If you long press on a word, you get highlight, note, lookup, and translate. Lookup and translate will rely on you selecting a language. So we can go to dictionaries, and I haven't chosen one yet, so I can show you guys. So if we want to go from German to English, English to Spanish, etc., we can choose our dictionary. The one I would choose is French to English, just because we're in Canada and most of us speak French over German. But it is about 100 MB for some of these, like for French English it's particularly large, but for German French it's only 12, etc. You can also make long presses for notes, highlights. You can make a highlight and it highlights it like so. So I wouldn't really recommend this device if you're buying it for the purposes of using PDFs. I would recommend buying something else because it's not the greatest experience and it's not running Android, so you can't load in anything else. Page turns are really slow. Pinching and zooming is incredibly slow. It does display the product properly and it is full screen and it does look nice, but anytime you want to do any sort of augmentation to your screen, it's pretty slow, sluggish, and overall not the greatest experience. You see I just did a full zoom out, but it's only doing stage by stage and there's no mini map, so I don't really know where I am. So tapping in the center, you get a couple options. Text reflow, which I'm not going to press. That takes a very long time to reflow the entire book. A zoom level, which is step by step, like so. 2 sunlight icons that allow you to change the illumination, fit to width, and a rotation that rotates at 90 degrees. You can't long press, you can't make notes, highlights, annotations, anything like that. You can make bookmarks, but that's where the PDF experience ends. So when you start this device up, you are able to choose your bookstore. Now, neither of them really exist in Canada or America. All the selections are Germany, Belgium, etc. So I just chose Belgium as a place to land. So you have Netherlands, Francais, and I guess Anglais is English. So let's go ahead and see. We can discover some ebooks in English. There's a thing at the top. You have fiction, nonfiction, and loisirs. Everyone knows what that is. No, I have no idea actually. And you see you do have some stuff in English, which is really nice. Everything is in euros, so when you do click on it to buy it, you will have to input all of your information, log into the site, which we really can't because we don't have a Belgium address. The bookstore is very extensive. It does have a lot of content. Granted, it's not that usable to us here in Canada, but that doesn't mean it's not good. It is very good. Clicking on a book, you do have ISBN numbers, date of publication, format, language, etc. You do have some stuff that you can scroll down, and you do have some plus options, which leads you to other things. A lot of this is in French because although the book itself will be in English or French or German or Netherlands or what have you, the operating system for this will be, for the store that is, the UI will be in the respective language you choose when you sign up. You can see we're on google.be, which is Belgium. So we're just going to delete all that and we're going to go to Goody Reader. And this will just be a live navigation thing to show you how quickly it gets there. .com. I hope I didn't miss anything. No, I didn't. A lot of the time e-readers play catch up, but not this one. It types very well. I like the keyboard, I like the keys. The keyboard was quicker than the load time. You can see we're on full Wi-Fi, the same Wi-Fi we've always been on in the studio, and usually it's pretty snappy, but this device is a little bit slow when it comes to navigating over from a website that you don't have cached or queued up. It's moving all right. This is the mobile version. You can see it's not the desktop version. It's fit properly. Now you don't have any sort of A2 mode, so as you scroll around and navigate around, not only does it not focus and work sometimes, you get this really slurry blur, which isn't the greatest experience. I would have wished they had some sort of A2 mode in the UI, but they don't. But again, navigation aside, pinching and zooming, double tapping, etc., it does look good and it does perform well enough to get your message across. Now, this is no octa-core, quad-core processor type of thing, so you're not going to be able to watch videos and, go on Facebook and stuff because there's no outside applications for that available to this device. Now comes the fun part, the glow light. They have been throwing this in our face the whole device through. This banner up top never changes, and when it's not there during the reading experience, you could simply tap to turn it on and it'll show up there. That is the toggle on and off. Whether you press the battery, the top left corner, the top right corner, the time, it's going to turn off and on the glow light. There's so many ways to turn it on and off. It is a little bit blue. That's okay. It's meant to be because we're on cold degrees of Kelvin and it goes down to the warm degrees of Kelvin. This is the 1,000 scale of colors and all that geeky stuff. So you have dark and bright. So if we turn down this, that's going to turn down the brightness. Unfortunately, it doesn't really change that quickly. You can see as I slide, it's not staged. It's kind of stepped. It only really reacts a second later, or if you take your finger off. So if we go like that and we go to the warm, this is where it brings out a lot of the oranges, which is really cool because you're able to match this to your surroundings. Now you can tap the dark surroundings or bright surroundings respectively, and it just caters everything to that. Or you can use the slider bar, or you can press dark and go step by step, or press warm and go step by step. There's a lot of functionality here. Now if I go bright and then go to right about there, that is about as pure white as you want to get. There are two sets of LEDs on the bottom like this, warm ones and cold ones. A lot of devices turn them on or off respectively using a toggle, but because of this slider bar, you can actually turn them all on at different degrees, so they can be all running at the same time, which results in a fantastic light distribution. This is one of the best we've seen up until the very corner to the bottom left. Even if I look on a little angle up into the seam where the bezel hits the screen, It is flawless. This is a very, very soft, pure light distribution, and it doesn't protrude that far out. You can see a little bit of my hand here in the shot, but it's not lighting up the room, which is fantastic. It's not too bright. It doesn't shoot across the room and wake up your partner or people on the plane. If you're reading it on a crowded plane, you don't have to turn that little light on the top toggle area on. The glow light is the thing that we wanted to show you the most on this, and it also has automatic color temperature. This is not based on any sort of light sensor on the screen or the bezel, because it is not flush screen and bezel, and they didn't implement one. It's based on the time of day, so the time of day you set it at. So right now 8:43, which is incorrect, but it's 11:43 here. If that was PM, maybe it thinks it's dark out, so it would be dark surroundings mode, etc. A lot of the things I spouted out were kind of negative on this device, and that isn't because of the device itself. The device is great. It's a very well put together device. It shares the same shell as Kobo devices, that you can see by the power button alone. It's the exact same thing as a Kobo shell. The only downside was that due to our geographic location, a lot of the things are restricted to us. Certain UI elements, stores, even when you go to the browser, it starts up in Belgium. So a lot of the things that are on this device that, they're just not catered to our North American audience, which is totally understandable. And that's not to discredit the device itself. If you guys are in Europe and you are looking for a device that has not only Tolino has a great track record, but now Kobo Rakuten backing it, which is fantastic, I can highly recommend this device. It's priced well, it's built well, it performs very well. So for a review of the Tolino Shine 3, this is Peter with GoodyReader.com. Let us know if you want to see anything else on this. See you later.